Woo, welcome back to episode 3 of Coming in Hot. We are going to start with a bunch of news you've probably already heard from last week because I'm a little bit late on getting back to this. However, I'm going to go ahead and run through it, give them a little bit of thoughts, and then we're going to jump into our cut down day activities because there is quite a bit happening here today on cut down day, and I'm sure a lot more to come considering we still have about 4 or 5 hours until actual cut down day is required. So, last week, Carolina rookie Matt Corral out for the season. Unfortunately for him, looked like he was maybe going to make a play for Sam Darnold's job, possibly. PJ Walker, what do we do with him? You know, you've got Sam Darnold as well, and then you got Baker Mayfield starting. Baker Mayfield is going to start. Matt Corral out for the season. Unfortunately, not going to be a part of that their current future plans. And then on top of that, Sam Darnold gets hurt as well. So you're looking at a quarterback room: Baker Mayfield, PJ Walker. Could be worse. You could have Sam Darnold. I know it's messed up. Really, really messed up, but it is kind of true. All right, Tom Brady was gone, was expected to return last week. He did return last week right after the preseason game. Come back, and with him coming back, there was the rumors of him being on The Masked Singer. He says, hell no. He says, I'm just old. I had shit to take care of. Literally said, I had shit to take care of. I'm 45 years old. What do you expect? Very possible. Who knows what he was doing? I'm sure it'll come out eventually. However, there was also a story that came out from Dana White on the UFC special that said that he was literally setting up the fact that Brady and Gronk were going to be Las Vegas Raiders, which means that you're sticking with that motherfucker was not Tua Tagovailoa. It was, in fact, Derek Carr. Dana White set it up for Brady and Gronk to go to the Raiders. As Gronk said, it obviously worked out pretty well. Very true. But John Gruden at the last minute nixed that deal and said, nope, don't want him. And he said, we're gonna stick with him. And as I said, Brady said, you're sticking with that motherfucker? All right then. Worked out pretty well for them too, I must say. Josh McDaniels now. The John Gruden saga was rough. And added Devontae Adams, Derek Carr's best friend. So you got to add the premier receiver in the league. Top 2, not 2. Maybe this year. Maybe this year he'll be a little lower than that. Roquan Smith bets on himself. He's going to play out his contract. David Bakhtiari came off the PUP list. Let's fucking go. Let's see. Saints punter Blake Gillikin booms an 81-yarder. Baker Mayfield named QB1. Vikings trade conditional 7th for Nick Mullins. They got a new backup quarterback from the Raiders. I'm going to skip this one real quick, and we'll come back to it. Ken Waller, return unknown. Ken Walker, excuse me. Ken Walker, return unknown. The surgery that he had. Michael Thomas out with a hamstring injury. Jay Glazer. Lamar offered more than Kyler, but he wants fully guaranteed money. We'll see. Kayvon Thibodeau out 3 to 4 weeks. Got hurt in the second preseason game. Should be out for a couple weeks. May not play week 1. Kenyon Drake ended up being cut. Cole Van Lanner from the Packers traded to Jacksonville. Offensive lineman Cody Ford from the Bills to Arizona. Denzel Mims requests trade, then has the game of his life in week 3 of the preseason. 7 catches, 102 yards. Robert Salah says he is here, and we expect him to be here. We're going to do some fucking things. We'll see. Tyron Smith tears his hamstring from the fucking bone. Oh my God. Cringeworthy shit right there. Tear your hamstring from the bone. His muscle and his bone were separated. Fucking gross. I hate that for Tyron Smith. Absolutely uber talented player. Hopefully he comes back just fine. Likely to be out until at least December. Sam Darnold hurt out several weeks in a walking boot, high ankle sprain. Panthers do get Laviska Shenault from Jacksonville for a second round pick for a late round pick. Not a bad deal. That happened here today on Cutdown Day. Good move, could be sneaky move. Laviska Shenault's 23 years old. He's got a chance. In Jacksonville, he did not. Unfortunately, with him stuck behind a galley of receivers, they went and bought the whole fucking free agent market of receivers this year. All right. All right, Lamar Jackson. Keep my name out your fucking mouth, part 2. Probably. Baltimore did not offer him $250 million, like has been reported. He said absolutely categorically false. That's bullshit. Again, keep my name out your fucking mouth until you hear from me. Lamar Jackson, probably. Josh Gordon got cut. O.J. Howard got cut. Lots of things going on here. Geno Smith wins the job in Seattle. Drew Lock had the worst fucking game of his preseason in the last game. Aaron Donald was swinging fucking helmets and joint practices with the Bengals last week. And the Rams, the oh-so-trusty Rams, are going to handle it internally. We're going to take care of the punishment. We'll punish Aaron Donald. Yes, we will. No, the fuck you won't. Get the fuck out of here. We're going to handle this internally. If the NFL doesn't do something about it, which they're not going to because apparently NFLPA frowns upon camp practices, anything happening in practices not being held by the teams themselves, which I get it. You have to have some kind of, hey, this shit is off limits. We're handling this shit. I get that. But are the Rams going to do anything to Aaron Donald besides a fine? Absolutely fucking not. Are they going to sit him for the game? They're going to sit Aaron fucking Donald for the Bills game next Thursday. No. Are you fucking stupid? I'm fucking stupid, and that's fucking stupid. There's no chance in hell. That shit's not happening. Absolutely not. Because there's just no fucking way that they're going to sit him. Like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Now, they should. They should absolutely. Because he was literally swinging a helmet at Cincinnati Bengals players. But, that's fine. Who knows what the hell happened. J.C. Jackson out 2 to 4 weeks. I believe that happened last week. That sucks. That's a big loss for them. Big prize free agency signing. Possibly going to miss week 1. Dolphins signed Trey Flowers. Could be a sneaky good pickup for them. Already had a very decent defense in Miami. He underperformed in Detroit. I get that. However, could be a sneaky good pickup for them. Reason I'm wearing this Eagles number 32 Ricky Waters jersey. Philadelphia trades for C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Extension talks break down for the Saints, so they traded him to Philadelphia. That is a sneaky good move as well. They called him a safety. I swore he was a corner, but I guess maybe he moved to safety. Hell, I don't know. But Philly trades for C.J. Gardner-Johnson, sneaky good pickup there. All right, so we got some bigger things to talk about. There's Saints offensive tackle Trevor Penning going to be out with turf toe. Turf toe lingers for all of existence, so it could be a while. There's no telling. Geno Smith wins the job in Seattle. I'm pretty sure I already covered that, but I just said it again because I like to repeat myself. So you're welcome. That was a gift, not from the heavens, but from my mouth, unfortunately. Again, cut down day special. So we're looking at Brian Robinson, rookie running back for the Washington Commanders, was shot in an attempted robbery situation, attempted carjacking. Shot, I believe, 3 times. Went into surgery. Came out today. He has been released from the hospital. Thankfully. Let's step away from football for a second and talk about the fact that he was shot. Because him being released from the hospital, this could have been so much worse. I texted my buddy Adam, who's been on the podcast a few times, and I was letting him know that I'd seen this come up. And he said that he was in stable condition. And I'm like, listen, I said, I've heard this before. I said, Sean Taylor was in stable condition after he got shot, and 4 hours later he was dead. Unfortunately, I hate to say it that way, but I was shocked. I completely shocked. So, when I hear this about anybody being shot and they're stable, okay, that's great. I'm glad to hear it, but I still temper and hold my expectations because I never really know what I'm about to hear later on. Now, he did send me a thing that somebody made a comment that said Antonio Gibson is at large and is the number 1 suspect, which was kind of a joke on that because Brian Robinson was about to take his motherfucking job. So, thankfully, that was just a joke, but in all seriousness, that shit is horrifying and unbelievable. And hopefully, Brian Robinson, like I said, out of the hospital, released from the hospital today, in good spirits. Good news coming from that. Now let's get into some real wild shit. 49ers are going to keep Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm going to take another sip. I'm going to let you just... 49ers are going to keep Jimmy Garoppolo for the year. He's going to be the highest paid backup quarterback in football. You hear that? Okay. Soak it in. So Jimmy fucking Garoppolo is going to be the highest paid backup in football. $6.5 million guaranteed. They lowered his guarantees down to $6.5 million. Can earn up to $17 million with incentives. Has a complete full no trade clause, which they mean by that is that we cannot trade him without getting his permission first. So he can be traded, but not to where he doesn't want to go. He gets to choose his team essentially, which is what he's going to do in free agency when the year's over anyway, unless he fucking starts for the 49ers. They give him a big fat contract and send Trey Lance on his fucking merry way, which is possible as well. Shocking news. Completely blew my mind. Did have no idea where in the fucking world that came from, because when I saw that shit, I was like, really? But you know why I did it? Because the trade market wasn't there. There was no trade market for him. No quarterbacks have, knock on wood, have not been hurt this year. No terrible backups, I guess. There was no need, there was no market for Jimmy Garoppolo this year. Once Baker Mayfield got traded to the Panthers, pretty much dried up the entire market. Seattle decided they were going to stick with Geno Smith, I guess. Drew Lock, really? Let's talk about it. Let's go. The Seattle Seahawks are going to stay with Geno Smith and Drew Lock. Not Jimmy Garoppolo. That's interesting. No Jimmy G, Drew Lock, Geno Smith. Are you fucking serious? You're going to stick with fucking Geno Smith, who's been God's gift to terrible backups for the last 30 fucking years, who's literally been a backup for his entire career. And then you're going to take Drew Lock, you're going to trade Russell Wilson away and whatever, you got a wild hair up your ass or whatever. And then you're going to bring Drew Lock in, give him a chance to compete. He has the fucking game of his life in preseason week 2, and then has like the worst game, or no, in week 1. Game 2 he missed because of fucking COVID. Fuck COVID. And in game 3, he has like the worst game ever. So Geno Smith wins the job. Bro, fucking put Drew Lock out there. But honestly, you're gonna go into the season with those two. Whatever. Seattle sucks. Fuck it. Garbage. Jimmy Garoppolo. Granted, he probably wasn't gonna get traded in the division anyway, so I get it. But go ahead, do your fucking thing. All right, we're gonna talk about the most serious thing on here that I can talk about, and I hate bringing it up, but it has to be talked about. Halfway regret episode 2's picture on the podcast. Punter Matareza, Buffalo Bills, punt god, wins the job last week. Wins the punter job. They cut their veteran punter. This week, a civil suit comes out. Punter, or later, actually like 2 days later, a day later, or whatever, comes out that Matareza and 2 other former San Diego State University football players are being accused of gang raping a 17-year-old woman. Now, you know, he went from punt god to punted gone. He's been cut by the Buffalo Bills after the allegation. Rumors say that the Bills looked into the allegations without actually talking to the victim, which, if that's the case, that's on Buffalo, 1,000%. The fact that this never came out until, now, like it just came out. The accusations have been out there. Supposedly San Diego State, covered some of it up. Supposedly they didn't investigate the way they're supposed to. Supposedly they were told to hold off their investigation until San Diego State Police did their investigation. All possible. If I'm going to spare details, because if what is accused is actually true, it is fucking horrifying. Araiza was 21 at the time. Supposedly was at his house. Again, not gonna delve into the nitty gritty of the details, but and it was with at least 2 to 3 other people, 2 of which have been named. Said that Araiza and 2 other San Diego State football players, but said that there was also a third person in the room, or an additional person in the room besides Araiza and the other 2. So I don't really know what to think right now. Without having all the details, it's hard to say, how I really feel about the situation. I mean, I feel strongly about the situation in this, that What happened to that young lady is absolutely disgusting, despicable. As far as who was involved or to what extent each person was involved, I don't know. So I can't really say, oh, I think Matareza is a scumbag piece of shit. Doesn't look good for him. And quite honestly, if the information that's out there about Matareza right now and his part in this despicable fucking act, then yes, you are a piece of shit. And getting cut is the least of your fucking problems. And I hope you go to fucking jail for a long time. If he didn't have a part in it, then of course, I sit in a different scope, as do probably the majority of the people that watch this. But I have to say that right now the Buffalo Bills had no choice other than to cut Matareza. Good punter or not doesn't matter at this point. It's not about being a football player. It's about being a piece of shit or not being a piece of shit. And what he's accused of is being like top five scum of the earth type shit. Like literally top five scum of the earth type shit. And this is going to be, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out and what information really comes out. Again, Matt Araiza accused with at least two other members of San Diego State football team of gang raping a 17-year-old girl. That is absolutely despicable and disgusting. And I, for one, certainly don't condone anything like that. And I will not stand and be like, oh, hey, Matt Araiza's the king. He's not a punk god. He's a piece of shit, if that's the case. And, I hate to break it down so seriously here at the end, but I didn't want to tone it down early and then, lead into everything else and try to sound all peppy. As of right now, Matareza is a piece of shit, and that's what it seems like. And it doesn't seem that it's going to be going any differently. It sounds like it's only going to get worse. The Bills did what they had to do. Sounds like they should have done a little bit more research first. You can get other punters. A punter or a football player, quarterback, or whoever. It doesn't really matter who the fuck it is, what position you play on a football field, or any sport for that matter. If this is the kind of shit that you do, then fuck you. You are a piece of shit. And I hope to God you get what's coming to you. Because that in itself is just despicable. And quite honestly, I say I hope it's not true, but it doesn't look good. Yeah, optics are something that I've been taught a long time, that when the optics don't look good, it's probably not good. So right now it's not looking good for Matt Araiza, free agent punter, formerly of the Buffalo Bills. Again, punt god, punted gone, right off the team. So hopefully we'll know in the coming days, weeks, months, what the situation is overall. But again, absolutely despicable and disgusting, and not much more I can say about that. On that note, guys, I'm going to come back to you later this week. We'll dive into some week one picks early in the week next week. I'm going to pull some spreads from the game, some more up-to-date spreads for the games that I'm going to pick. I'll pull that information out, and I'll kind of give my picks, but I'll also give my betting picks. There's a couple of games that I like more than others, and maybe even throw in a prop or two, because I love my props. But on that note, guys, we'll catch y'all later.